The FBI is one of, if not the most dominant security agency in the world. They can track your phones, your computer, your car. Heck, they probably know you're watching this video right now. What's up, Fed? But never mind that, they're too busy watching criminals like terrorists, pushers, and for some reason, rappers. And this video will give you the quick rundown of some of the FBI's most wanted rappers in the industry. We're talking notorious legends in the rap game. Stick around till the end of the video to see the real criminals still huffing and puffing around, and leave a comment if you already know who I'm talking about. But before we go and list down these rappers, let's do a little background check. Let's face it, the police can really get up to some shady acts behind the scenes. This is an organization that can get away with practically anything, be it for our own safety or for their own misguided values. We're talking politics, conspiracies, and even surveillance. So what the heck do they have to do with the rap game? Well, here's a truth bomb for all of you. Whether you like it or not, rap is political. It's bound to stir some stuff up in the community. In fact, in 2011, it was even linked to increased crime. But then, the feds couldn't even put up any evidence of that claim, so big whoop! So without further ado, here are some of the biggest rap names and the FBI's most wanted. Number 1, everyone in the Wu-Tang Clan. Enter the Wu-Tang, a rap group established in the 90s that would leave its mark on the rap game in the few years it was active. This rap group had a legendary rap lineup of RZA, GZA, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Inspector Deck, You God, and Master Killa. This group changed the rap game forever, and everyone listened in like they were prophets, and by everyone that sadly includes the feds. Now at the time, gang violence was already running rampant. This was the 90s where wearing a certain color in the wrong place at the wrong time could get you killed. So of course, the feds were looking for any signs of crime. Sadly, what the police sniffed out was the scent of 2 big-time drug dealers in New York. Dead, murdered, with a hit order allegedly coming from RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan, this was the first taste. Investigatory files released by the FBI shows them labeling the WTC as a major criminal organization instead of what it actually is. One of the best damn rap groups of its generation. That's a big word considering this is the same category they would put mafia families in, which meant that WTC was actually up for prosecution. This entire investigation was an appeal to prosecute the WTC, all because the NYPD believed that they weren't only slinging records, they were drug runners too. The police started investigating every business venture that the WTC had. This includes their record label, production company, and clothing line. If WTC were selling drugs as a side hustle, then there would have had to be a paper trail there somewhere. The FBI was hoping to find a few questionable transactions that could be marked as money laundering. Well, after years of investigation and probing by the FBI, it turns out the Wu-Tang Clan were as clean as a whistle. Nothing solid could be proven and the investigation just dropped dead in the water. But what do you think? Sound off in the comments if you think the WTC are as clean as the feds think they are. Now, with all this talk of police probes, one group's got something to say.
I got something to say.
Number 2, NWA. This was at the turn of the century where racism was the hot topic in America. More and more reports of police officers wrongfully detaining or profiling people just because of their skin color, to the point where it's become the status quo. NWA didn't like that. None of the black community liked that, so NWA stepped up and released one of the most controversial songs to ever be released. F*** the Police. F*** the Police is a song that basically is just that. A culmination of the black community's frustrations with the status quo and the black community laying it all out on the table. The song has a lot of violent descriptions and encourages the use of violence against any disrespect from a person of authority. This song is saying that the black community has had enough and deserves some respect. The feds didn't like that, and they weren't supposed to like that. That was the entire point. The FBI then wrote a kind and concise letter to Brian Turner, president of Priority Records, also known as NWA's home record label. The letter could be summed up in 3 words. Watch Your Mouth. The FBI hated everything about the song, saying that it doesn't fall in line with the base our police worked so hard to create. Because of this, the police started to retaliate against NWA. Police started showing up to concerts, halting the entire function just because they were afraid of the violence that might ensue. But in reality, there wasn't any violence at all in these concerts. In fact, NWA themselves stopped performing the song during concerts and would sometimes walk off stage when the fans demanded it. Growing tired of the cat and mouse chase, the feds just eventually pulled away when they found they had nothing solid to pin on NWA. But how about you? What do you think of the song? Think NWA went too far? Or maybe not far enough? Sound off in the comments below, but when it comes to influence, when it comes to a call to action, when it comes to the greatest lyricist and rapper of all time, well, we have none other than the next person on this list. Number 3. Tupac. Tupac Amaru Shakur, widely known as Tupac, is one of hip-hop's greatest legends, often referred to as the GOAT, depending on who you ask. But while he was revolutionizing the rap game with his sick beats and rhymes, he was also the most outspoken at the time. Sure, NWA might have said, "Fuck the police," but Tupac was the only one who wanted to get down to brass tacks. Tupac is the perfect example of saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. Growing up in a politically active household and experiencing most of the racial injustice firsthand, Tupac wanted to shake things up and lead his community to a brighter future. Tupac became the voice of victims of racism, police brutality, poverty, and crime. He pointed out that there was something wrong with the system, that the system was specifically designed to set up young black adults for failure. Tupac wanted changes, and as always, the FBI kept a close eye. Whether you agreed with Tupac or not, he was still someone that could unite all the warring gangs under a single goal: change the status quo. Fight back against the injustice, be it through words or straight up socking someone in the jaw. The FBI also kept a close eye on Tupac's financial contributions in support of revolutionary troops like the Black Liberation Army. All eyes were literally on Tupac at this point until his eventual murder happened. Now, I'm not here to point fingers or spout dramatic conspiracy theories, but it's a fact that a lot of people look towards the police as a potential culprit in this murder. While the FBI did pin a lot on Tupac, they sure as hell wanted to go after his killer. What about you? Who do you think pulled the trigger? Stick around till the end of the video because honestly, my bet's on number 5 of this list. Number 4. Lil Durk. A rapper once, talking about people holding him down his entire life, is now at the risk of spending his life held down behind bars. Lil Durk is a Grammy Award-winning rapper from the Windy City of Chicago, famous for songs like Laugh Now, Cry Later featuring Drake and All My Life by J. Cole. Up until recently, he had been a successful rapper, but that all changed when the FBI got a hold of him. As it turns out, during all the praise he's been getting, he had been affiliated with a murder-for-hire plot. Lil Durk has been accused of and is currently arrested for a shooting that took place in Los Angeles years prior that targeted rapper Quando Rondo. Apparently years back, Quando was the one who ordered to kill Lil Durk's close friend King Von. This was bad blood years in the making, but the plan wouldn't go according to plan. Sadly for both parties, the only person who was ever killed at the time was Quando's cousin. To no one's surprise, the FBI takes gun-related crimes very seriously. Having 5 armed men attempt to kill a single man is enough of a red flag for the feds to step in, and what they found was damning to say the least. Fights and rental car receipts for all 5 murderers, all purchased by Lil Durk's Chicago-based rap collective, Only the Family. Although the trial is still ongoing, Lil Durk and all his accomplices do have some explaining to do. Now that we've moved from political activism to murder, it's time to get into something more sinister. Number 5. P. Diddy. If you follow rap, you know Diddy. Sean Diddy Combs, otherwise known as Puff Daddy, otherwise known as Brother Love, producer to some of the biggest names in the industry and known for his amazing parties, this man is a walking horror show. I'm not exaggerating when I say the things this man is accused for is pure evil, to the point where the feds had to go down hard on him and his entire estate. Diddy is currently held for trial, charged with multiple accounts of racketeering conspiracy, assault trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. As scary as those words may be, we cannot even mention everything else that he's accused of. As it turns out, Diddy has been a known abuser and manipulator behind the scenes, and no other words can even begin to describe the horror that he puts on his victims. Diddy was a very private man, but at the same time he wasn't. This was a man who knew the power and influence that he had in the industry, abusing both women and men in broad daylight throughout the years and keeping everyone in the know, including the victims, quite through blackmail and bribery. In one fell swoop, the FBI started raiding Diddy's mansions and collecting all the data they need to put this monster behind bars forever. Let's just hope this takes and brings down everyone involved, including high-profile names in the industry. But of course, as we said, it's an ongoing investigation. If you want to hear more about the entire Diddy case, then make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the juicy info. It's coming, and oh boy, you don't want to miss it. So there's our list. Which rappers do you think deserved a special spot on our list? Anyone we missed? Leave a comment down below and snitch on your most hated rapper for us. Don't worry, we won't telling you. Thanks for watching, and as always, smash that like button if you feel like Drake's making his way into this list pretty soon.